God be with you.
This horse
Keep the
must have
peace,
cost a pretty
and we'll
gross.
stay friends. Oh, well.
You silly mutt. Easy, easy. Nice and slow.
What is happening in our city? Just as two royal brothers are fighting over this kingdom, so two other brothers are quarreling in...
Well then, does the poor face still not know? The poor face? It's her fault.
Going to see the Mint Master.
Any fool could say that. What do you want from him?
Don't delay me. I'm in a hurry.
Suit yourself. But I'm warning you, if you give that kind of lip to Sir Ulrich, you'll be coming out through the door head first.
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the City Council Assembly. And I reckon you can help me.
The assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
Surely you wouldn't deny me a chance to meet the king?
Don't try that on me. This is connected with Ruthard, isn't it? And tell the truth.
Well, I just want to climb the social ladder a bit. Nothing wrong with that, is there?
And could you not choose a different occasion for that?
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you better shape up.
All right, all right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
And how about a few groschen to seal our fruitful relationship?
You're worse than a horse dealer. Have it your way, then. You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
Who's this boy?
Franta's his name. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission to serve in the council. Otherwise, you won't be let in.
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy hose?
Well, no. But I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't even show up there without it.
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his, that is, if he's up and about.
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle.
What would work on him? How can I persuade him to give me his job?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the
I'll be going then.
Just make sure we both come out of it alive.
Hands off the door, all right? Beneficial for all. Our city's fame has attracted many scholars. Many
Variety goods, silk and finest ribbons, the royal colours. Come and buy some good bread.
leather pouches, belts, through shopping all from the finest leather.
What'll it be? I reckon a hangover.
I'll have a look at your wares.
Nothing suits your fancy, eh? Come and take your pick. New wares. The finest wares. Quality goods.
A fine day.
Oh, thin flatbread.
Good day to you. I'll have a look at the wares. Pleasure doing business. Take care.
Come and take a gander.
Buy 2 pots.
Embroidery. Can you tell me embroidery?
Someone stole
Ribbons of all
Right
colours.
here from my trunk. I don't know how it happened.
You don't give me something right away that I can wear to that banquet.
We've got enough to go around.
Hamish.
Anything you need.
Well,
Into a flatbread. Understand?
Greetings. I'd like to...
Surely you can wait a while. I have a customer here. Here you are. The finest fabric. Intricate work. You won't find the likes anywhere else in this town.
No more than I'd expect after the amount they cost. Thanks. I'll gladly recommend you if anyone asks. And you impatient fella, what was it you wanted?
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
Best wares on the market. Come and take a look.
I want to see the king in the flesh.
Why's that?
I heard a lot about him. How he won lots of battles, how he's courageous, just...
And as bad-tempered as the devil. He's got the councillors shitting themselves, fearing what's coming at this assembly. The more I think about it, the happier I am about not having to be there. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right. No need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not.
I've got
Linen canvas! The softest linen canvas!
It happens.
Come and buy the finest canvas!
Oh well, what can you do? Farewell then.
Thin bowls, strong pots, inexpensive but high quality.
You better call back that
The last
dog.
person I saw in this hamlet was the priest during Easter.
Are you trying to tell me I drink too much? Is that what you're trying to say? Hey?
Jugs here, big. Get out.
Take a moment.
My God, what's taking so long?
And that old priest.
I won't make it to the council assembly at this rate.
I don't think so.
Do you have enough onions for the soup?
Aye, of course. So what's it gonna be?
You said you needed some help with something. What's going on?
Something's happened. Oh, a real mess. And I need help from someone reliable.
What is it?
When I was fishing around for information about Liechtenstein, I cast the net a bit too wide. And one of the servant girls I questioned was just found dead.
You think she was killed because of you?
I don't know. If I did, I wouldn't be asking you for help.
I'll help you. Tell me all about it. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She was an ordinary, pretty girl. She worked as a maid. I heard they found her all hacked up, tossed somewhere by the town wall. Oh, folk in town are saying it was absolute slaughter. They took the body to the morgue by the St. Peter and St. Paul cemetery.
I'll go take a look at her. See if I can find anything.
I think that would be for the best. Though, I don't think it'll be a very pretty sight. You can ask the gravedigger for details. He'll know the most.
When did you last see the girl?
Around a week ago?
And did you notice anything suspicious about her?
Not at all. She was always cheerful, lively. She was looking forward to a dance. Though I'm afraid she won't be dancing ever again.
going to have gruel again tonight?
Aye, aye. What a load of shit.
What was Alice trying to find out for you?
She always brought me the freshest gossip overheard from her master. And lately, what the other maids in town were saying.
And did you learn anything important from her? Something someone would kill her for?
That's the thing. All she brought me was gossip. Who was cheating on who wasn't going to confession, those sorts of things. So you'll have to figure out the rest for yourself.
What about your other girls? Are they all right?
Yes, fortunately. I'm careful enough to keep them pretty much in the dark about my plans. That's why Alice's death shocked me so much.
What are you going to do next?
I'd like to ask the others if they noticed anything suspicious. If someone is following them and the like, but...
But you don't want to scare...
I'm scared myself. Maybe nobody knows about them yet, and I can't...
What if I go in?
They don't know you, Henry. I'll figure something out.
Do you think there could be something bigger behind the murder?
I don't know, but it's true.
Why did you ask me in particular for help?
Because you're the only one I know here.
Aha.
But don't take it the wrong way. I'm actually glad it's you. You're pretty reliable. Not even Zhishka would be of much help to me here.
Aha. Thanks. I know everything I need.
Good. In the meantime, I'll try to find out more.
I apologize.
My God, what now?
Good day.
Good day. What would you like?
You must be the local gravedigger.
That's right. They call me František. At least them that can speak do.
I'm Henry.
Greetings, Henry. What do you need?
I hear there was a murder here recently. Some young girl?
True. She's lying in the morgue. But who the hell are you? Another Gawker?
Another? Why would anybody come to look at her?
People ain't got no respect. As soon as news spread about what was done to her, folk are always turning up to have a gawk. So if you ain't one of them Gawkers, you must be one of them other types. Well, no, you can't shave her. No thumb for a souvenir.
I don't want to take anything. I need to find something out.
Like what exactly?
Who killed her?
Why?
Someone killed the poor girl. You can't just let the murderer get away with it, can you?
Well, what do you plan on doing about it?
Find out who did it and bring him to justice.
Well, if that's the way it is, and you really want to help them lasses, it's true that Lumiere ain't shown no interest in her yet. I wouldn't expect that from him no more.
Who's this Lumiere? Another...
No.
Help?
Well...
Right.
Aye. We had a couple of similar cases. Lumiere said they was all killed by the same murderer.
And who is this Lumiere?
He used to work for the local bailiff. I think he knew the first one what was killed, but that was a long time ago.
Do you remember?
You mean you don't know nothing about it? Here, even the sparrows are squawking about it.
Do you know where the...
I heard some...
Look for...
That can...
That's worth it. Thanks. What's this Lumiere?
Well, like...
A scribe?
Well, the Lumiere...
I'd like to speak...
At his home... I don't know it...
Thanks. You've been a big help.
It's my pleasure. Especially helping someone from the land of the living again. Actually, wait a mo. Speaking of the living, there's a girl what comes here and grieves over that dead maid. I think her name is Barbara.
And do you know where I could find her?
She said she serves in one of the burgers.
Thanks again, Master.
Farewell, my friend.
Are you Barbara? I'm told you knew Alice.
Alice? Aye. She was almost like a sister to me. We served together for years, in the same house. Why'd you ask? Who are you?
I'm trying to find out who did this to her. I'm afraid the killer might want to go after my friend as well.
Ah, I understand.
Who did you serve?
Our master is a local merchant. He is trying his hand at trading wine.
How did Alice get along with your master?
Fine. Just like with everyone. Our master is a bit strict, but he's fair.
What's his name?
Why? But you can't see him anyway.
It occurred to me that maybe he could have done it.
No, he couldn't. He was gone when it happened. He hadn't been home in several weeks. And besides, why would he kill them others too? He never even knew them.
I heard about that.
Well, if you're it, maybe you'll catch him sober.
Do you know of any suitors she might have had?
I know she was seeing someone. Why?
I'd like to talk to him as well.
But I don't know who it was. Alice said he was rich and...
And you never saw him?
No.
Do you know what exactly happened to Alice?
No, one day she just didn't come home.
What do you mean, like...
You haven't seen her yet?
I haven't.
Then don't. It's a horrible thing to see. She was...
What do you mean?
Who could have cut off her hair like that? And why?
So... So, let's see what we have here. My God! Someone really did a number on her. Oh, they ripped open her entire belly. And they didn't stop there. There must have been buckets of blood. Jesus Christ. There's hardly any blood left in her. The The place they found her must look like a slaughterhouse. I should go there and take a look. Her lips are bloody, but nothing more. Tongue's still in place. But if he killed her for blabbing, I reckon he'd have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? These are more like chops than cuts. Somebody must have taken a sword to her. Knife wounds would be smaller, and an axe would have made a bigger mess. But it couldn't have been a long sword. That would have been clumsy. It was something shorter and nimbler. God, that madman cut off both her breasts and bits of flesh. But what did he do with it all afterwards?
Girl, why couldn't you have been more careful?
Did he really keep all the pieces? Her face is a little bruised and cut, but she has a dark ring around her neck. Was she strangled? The murderer must have had pretty strong, and her hair is all matted with blood and hacked off. I don't even know what colour it was. Maybe there's something more to it. What if the murderer kept her hair like some kind of sick... just some scratches and bruises? The killer probably surprised her. She didn't even... So, the murderer must have all... Then he took a short sword, or say he also cut off most of her hair. He cut off her breasts, but left her tongue. Then left her lying there for all to see. To send a message, maybe? Or a warning? Only if it was a warning for telltales, he would have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? I don't know why he killed her, but I don't think it's because of Catherine.
You have a kind master, eh, Doggy?
Halt!
How come you weren't in church on Sunday?
I wasn't feeling well.
Not feeling well, eh? You got drunk again, didn't you? How are your knees?
Lumiere?
Oh. Christ, my head.
I need to ask you something.
I said not so loud.
That's some hangover. Unless I'm willing to wait for him to sleep it off. This should sober him up. No, not that. Nothing like a little hair of the dog that bit you.
More booze. Christ. I'm gonna puke.
Drink up. It'll make you feel better.
Better already. Wait! What? Who?
My name is Henry.
And what do you want from...
I'm trying to find out who killed a certain girl.
To me? What for?
Are you Lumiere from the Rat House?
I used to be.
They say that about you. Why?
Because I was just on some wild goose chase. And what came of it? Absolutely nothing.
But I need your help.
If I were you, lad, I'd leave it be. You can't help that girl anymore, anyway. You'll just end up hurting yourself.
Come now, Lumiere.
Poor girls. Nobody was all that interested in it, except for me. We let it be in the end. We let a monster walk among us. No way. You can't solve this yourself.
I need to know the truth. To find the one responsible.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, lad. But it's no use. I searched high and low. And what did I get out of it? Just mockery. What makes you think you can find out more than I did?
Because I'm not stupid, and I notice things. I've successfully solved a murder before.
Is that so? A murder investigation under your belt. And educated and observant, too.
Well, I said I'm not stupid. Not that I'm educated. I can read and write, too. Sometimes even count.
If only more people knew the difference. All right. Talk to me. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She worked as a maid.
A maid? That fits. Yarka was a maid, too. As were most of the other victims. What did she look like? What did he do to her?
I think that he strangled her first, and then went at her with a longer blade and disemboweled her.
Did you notice the strangulation right away? It took me a while. Maybe you really will track him down.
Do you think it's the same murder?
Counting your girl, that makes 6 victims who were first strangled and then mutilated. If it's not all the same person, they must be collaborating somehow.
This is the 6th one. How long has he been killing?
Probably about a year now. Sometimes it takes him months, sometimes weeks. But I mean...
Why are you counting the missing girls?
Because I think someone killed them.
Did the dead girl...
Aside from being...
Do you think somebody is killing them?
Certainly.
But why does he even kill in the first place?
I don't know. Maybe he hates women. Damn it. I feel like I'm going in circles and can't get...
What can you tell me about...
She wasn't the first. She was a maid in a German... She was orphaned as they found her.
Did you have any...
Then what? Well, for one, besides that, and his mother, maybe...
What about...
She was an...
You said...
You have no idea how...
Did you...
You could suspect the innkeeper.
And what about that Zden?
Exactly. Besides Alice.
But if her body...
Because she was this young... I never could pin it.
Maybe she...
Maybe. When I asked him...
Do you think he'd be...
He might be. Besides...
And what about...
It all... She'd only been in town, but the other... She said she knew...
You mean...
That's what it sounded like. It's sad to say there's nobody...
Why were you looking into it? Who were those dead...
I don't know what people told you about me. But for many long... Gutenberg is a big city with a lot of people. Silver. The bailiff was always running from hell to Hades. From one rich man to another, settling their quarrels.
But there are more than just...
Exactly. So not
what happened?
I don't want to...
Did you have...
You can always find some. I always drag the most suspicious...
Couldn't it have faint? Can you sum it all up?
We have 6 victims here. Unfortunately, of the neck, they both... And the lot...
Good.
When you learn, you've aroused...
I went to confession yesterday, and that old priest...
Eh? Clear off, you mutt! Leave it! Shoot!
Good day to you. What do you want from me?
Father, I need to ask you a few questions.
I don't have time for theological discussions, my son.
That's not why I'm here. My name's Henry, and I wanted to ask about the murder that happened recently. Someone killed and gut...
Another one murdered. Why is it you...
Are you sure you don't want me to pick out your entire hearth room? Give people an inch and they'll take a mile.
Somebody is murdering maids here. We have to put an end to it.
Yes, but... Those poor souls are already at God's side. And revenge...
I don't want revenge. I want to stop more killing. That's a better reason, isn't it?
True enough.
One of the other victims was a girl named Yarka. What can you tell me about her?
About Yarka?
Where did you...
I'm...
Who do you think...
William. That pig of Satan. He gambles in the tavern on All Saints' Day, and Yarka always went there to listen to music.
Why do you think it was William?
Evidence? He's a skirt chaser. A tool of Satan. He...
And does anyone...
No.
You raised her? A priest with a child?
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm not the first of the clergy to have a child on the side.
No offense, but how did you know what to do? Without a wife, without a family?
I was a bit, son. Maybe...
How...
When she...
Why do you think...
Yarko was her only... But...
You're well off, though. Couldn't you provide...
I couldn't. Even if she had been...
How come?
The church's property always remains the church's.
How did...
She...
Disgrace? What the...
She was pregnant! Even if she had lived, what then?
Why don't you respect Lumir?
That's my business. I won't tell you.
Come now, Father. I'm not just asking out of curiosity. This is about all the dead girls. Isn't it written in Scripture, speak up for those who have no voice?
A layman quotes the Bible to me. Fine. Lumir accused me of her murder.
What?
Yes. He slandered me in public.
And how... What happened then?
It turned out he was deranged. How could he even think such a thing? He's finished in Kuttenberg.
I've heard enough, Father. I'll be going.
Son, I'll give you some good advice. Don't listen to Lumir. That man has gone completely mad.
Silly doggy. Greetings, my friend.
Show me your...
I hope you'll be satisfied. Take care. Excellent. It's a... pleasure doing business with you. Take care.
You have a kind master, eh, Mutt? Get out of here, Mutt!
take your pick. New wares.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
He crippled his leg. He can't even stand up. Never mind serve guests.
Is it serious? That's all we need. Having to find a new waiter.
No, it won't come to that. It just looks like a twisted ankle. A few days, and he'll be right as rain.
All right. Well, I suppose we'll just have to manage with you for today. We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You won't be needing it anyway. You don't want to be dragging a load if you're running around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you.
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope. Now listen. In short, behave, but when one of the gentlemen calls, you'll find the pictures on a white Tokai.
White or red, by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarjitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the prep.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarjitz stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
To stay in the background and keep quiet until someone asks me something?
Correct. The councillors have a lot to discuss, and they certainly don't need any interruptions. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Absolutely. I'm a waiter, after all. Not some street gossip monger.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just anyone can serve the King of Hungary, but you'll manage it, right?
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things.
The city reserves are in urgent need of new weapons.
There are the pictures of wine.
Our current Waffen
Hopefully I
arsenal
won't
is a
splash
joke.
anyone's shoes.
And on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it. Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
What are you
Hey,
getting
waiter,
at,
pour me some
Eldris?
Tokai. I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnik, the Dry Devil, used that thing. That Hacken.
I apologize, sir. Which one?
Hand cannon.
Are you colorblind?
Can you believe it?
White.
Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them, since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when outlaws have better weapons than the city garrison. And Herr König
are you deaf or
surely
something?
knows this
Why?
too.
White.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is. The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubkrieger everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to
Excuse
fight?
me?
Exactly. The merciful King
You can shove that
Sigismund
damn
is
picture.
providing us with protection.
isn't he?
Der König and his army will not be here forever.
Shut up! The king can arrive at any moment. What if he heard you?
What then? We're sitting atop the big... silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
We can always confiscate the property of the king's enemies.
I
Nicht
apologize,
wahr?
sir.
We are more
Which
than
one?
familiar
Monastery
with the
Red.
Yemeni state of our armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes.
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the
Monastery
Raubbrücker
wine,
to
here.
wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and
Monastery
see
wine,
what His
here.
Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht.
This is unbelievable.
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
You mean baths or brothels?
Isn't it
Waiter,
the same
get me
thing?
white.
So, the cleanliness of the city is not what it should be. The current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the
apologize, sir.
citizens' needs.
Which
But
one?
we have another bathhouse
Tokai.
here.
That's the
on
white.
Hopbrink.
My friend Adam from the baths in Haradek district told me about it. He says it's filthy.
Nonsense. He's just envious. Betty sees the opportunity, and people are lining up to bathe there.
Is that true?
I'd find it hard to believe.
Hey, where's my white?
Oh, really? It's clean, it's warm.
That's not a good idea, sir.
Something
This
to
is
eat.
unbelievable.
Don't get me started on the wenches.
So don't start.
All right, I'll go over there and investigate. The need for cleanliness and
Is everything
citizens'
all right?
health should not be underestimated.
Nor overestimated. If someone needs to wash, there's a river just a few steps from the city walls.
Certainly. And they can
Careful.
get leeches there for free as well. And while he's there, a man can shave and take a...
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
It's only a waste of time because we're always arguing about...
I can't. I'm supposed to serve the lords.
You're supposed to do what you're told. But suit yourself. I'll go and get it myself after the assembly.
Sewage, rats, slop, and rubbish. The least we can do
I
for citizens
apologize.
is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nas's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What if the king heard us?
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And as we know,
Waiter, pour me red
Cookslin
wine.
absolutely hates him.
He can hate all he wants,
I apologize,
as long as he
sir.
does no damage.
Which wine?
Ulrich,
Monastery
what have
Red.
you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure what you're implying.
I'm sorry.
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Oh, that. Just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving
Monastery
me.
wine!
Are you
Here.
defending Rutard? Besides, if his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like Rutard, true, but in this
Monastery
case it
wine.
really was
Here.
nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Rutard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first.
Cockeye, and a full cup.
Knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happens,
apologize,
there's
sir.
no point in dwelling on
Which
it.
wine?
Let's move on.
I'm sorry, Andreas,
What?
but I wouldn't brush it off so quickly. Why do I have the feeling you're not telling us the whole truth, Ulrich?
Are you accusing me of lying?
Those are strong words, my friend. Nobody said anything like that, did they?
Then why doesn't he tell us what really happened,
Are they only just pressing the grapes for their Tokai?
To the rumors circulating around the town. Yes, Rutard and I had a little disagreement, but we ended it quickly because his daughter wanted to get involved. I didn't want to expose
Are they only
the
just
girl to
pressing
any
the grapes for their
unpleasant
Tokai?
So Rutard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts.
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
All right. If we really don't
know
have
what?
anything new
Just
to
forget
say,
it.
Otherwise I'll soon
let's
give myself
turn the
away.
page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild and do whatever they want. I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword-fighting school brought this custom
I'd
to
like
us.
some
It's
monastery
now run
wine.
by the
Refill
German
my
Menhard.
cup, boy.
Who knows who that fellow is?
Don't be ridiculous, Forsucker. You act like you've never been in a fight
I
yourself.
apologise, sir.
And to accuse
Which wine?
a
Red,
swordsmaster
and quickly.
without a shred of proof. We're not some old fishwives in the marketplace.
So you will just leave it be?
Proven offences are punished by the bailiff. And that's that. There are more pressing matters to deal with.
More pressing than the open contempt of the whole town garrison.
Come
The
now,
guards are
waiter.
apparently
I
setting
wanted
accounts their own
red.
way. We'll soon be the laughing stock of the whole
Don't
town.
hang around me. Vanish.
Rest assured, the whole town is already laughing at us all day long. So what if they have one more reason?
Hey! My words exactly. The town council is squabbling constantly at the Emperor
Refill,
Charles,
sir.
and no one is left unscathed.
And you, a councillor, let people throw dirt on our work?
If I threw out everyone who complains over a beer, I'd soon be...
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now. But if you disappear for a little while...
I really shouldn't, sir.
A fine servant you are.
I apologize.
There's the eternal dispute over the cathedrals. The building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers. Right
Hey,
under our
waiter.
noses.
Pour me
Just the
some
village
monastery
with the
wine.
monastery, and they are going to mock a royal mining city. Why can't we build faster? Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Haven't you noticed there's a war going on? Are the experts
Monastery
from
wine.
far off supposed
Here.
to work in a city under siege?
Besides,
Sir?
I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare of the
You,
city
lad.
behind your complaints.
You look familiar to me.
Do you?
Have we met?
And what would that be?
Like,
I really couldn't say, sir.
That you'd like to have your own...
I have a
there?
feeling
So
I've
what if I
spoken
would?
with you before,
Hold your
too.
horses, gentlemen.
Or with
That
someone
space
who
in
looks
the
a
side
hell of a
nave is
lot
mine.
like you.
When hell freezes over, my friend, your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to insult me? Ha! I think not.
Excuse me? You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for the
Tokai.
services
And
our
the
guild
full cup.
provided, and still provides to the crown.
Well, I hope you're not supplying equipment to the army. If that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Opring.
Boy,
What
are you deaf or something?
ne'er-do-wells?
Wine.
Those wrestlers of
White.
fairs, of course.
Sir?
People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Oh,
Good.
this
Now
is
run off.
news to me.
Because it has all been sorted out. Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
Boy, I'd like some white.
Excuse me.
Sir?
Thank you, waiter.
I'm telling you, something is being planned. Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Azonal Juchek Össe, Elegiop Katonaikat, Ishkelkinek Utra.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
And like this band of fools!
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujitz parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here.
It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malachov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
God bless. Jesus Christ be praised.
God be with you, my friend.
Greetings to you too. Innkeeper, a beer.
God grant you health, sir.
How does it feel to breathe? Or
No fear. Why?
what do you
think? I'll live.
But I
Indeed.
I don't.
In that.
Hey! Where's that beer?
I'm glad you finally accepted my invitation. I almost lost all hope.
It's not that I didn't. My absence.
Goodbye. I am
My word.
Mais non.
I beg your pardon, but I'm not looking to make friends here.
But you're Nikolais, no? The friend of my likable...
How did...
and...
Latin...
Oh.
You're quite mistaken, Monsieur Baron. I have.
Ah. This Bohemia is a strange land. I have seen farm hands, children, and... Do tell me about it.
My last big battle was...
Aye.
Then? You say you're a...
Jamais. This boy, I think...
Where have you been?
But of course, if you are...
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant...
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still...
Current state of affairs.
Wondering the state of affairs now.
What can I say? My
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians. I'm Godwin.
Peace be with you.
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in, and we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, lead, and this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you here to arrange some trade?
We have more serious matters to attend to here than gaining a few groschen. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men...
Why are you...
Everything in good time.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzik Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
I reckon the two of you would hit it off. He's reliable and has his heart in the right place. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? You should have taken care of me, but instead...
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry, and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Copula, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health.
L'chaim.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait!
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
I'm not going to die.
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of.
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's...
As it happens.
Excellent. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain... shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the...
Well...
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp, it'd be a massacre.
Ah, but it won't. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that.
I'll help you.
I'll give you 3 names. Bocek of Kunstadt, Hamann Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
What if it doesn't work?
I refuse to even consider that outcome. Because it would mean...
Why me, of all people?
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You know how to talk, and you're not just out for your own good. There aren't many like you 2 left.
Tell me a bit more about those.
Certainly.
Bocek.
That's just... He doesn't... He'll...
Older.
He still is. Only he... But he'll...
Anna.
Wenzel Bartosz.
I was quite surprised to see her here.
A male affair? Anna is holding back and behaving like an exemplary... But don't trust appearances. She's got claws, she knows how to do her sums, and she certainly has no love lost for Sigismund.
And what use can she be to us? Apart from...
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade. And she knows a thing or two about diplomacy. There are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz acquired most of his wealth thanks to her, and that it was thanks to her that he died, too.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Success to our plans.
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
Not even Bocek? I'd like to check your horses out and see if...
Ha! Even better.
And you might not...
Well, You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to arrest my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
It's none of your concern. I've nothing to say to you anyway.
That's how you speak to me? In my own home? I'd hope you'd grow out of that impertinence. But it's far too late for that.
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopry to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
I wouldn't set foot here if I had a choice. Better to be a priest in some backwater than have a father like you.
How dare you?
You're as shit a father as I am a son. We've got nothing to blame each other for. And now let me speak to Older.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
We've never met, and we have no cause to be enemies. Take back your challenge, and we'll sort things out peacefully.
You've got no other option. You insulted Father's honor.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for violence. I can have a word in private with Lord Odorin, the second, as he desires, and then...
Out of the question. This uncouth lout needs a lesson, and he's got plenty to learn from Christopher. By God's grace, I have at least one son I can be proud of.
You want satisfaction? You'll get nothing but shame, as always. Suit yourself, then. We'll fight. Come to the outer courtyard, but quietly. We don't have to put on a show for the crowd.
After you.
Well, that's that. Now, where were we?
Shouldn't we rather...
No, Christopher will sort it out, you'll see.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Yeah.
On the right side! You've got a gap there I can drive a cart through! Look in my eyes, not at my sword!
Come on, then!
Forgive me, Lord, for what I do.
Ah! That was sneaky. What the fuck was that? Ah! Yeah! Yeah!
Swing with your whole arm, not just your wrist.
Take that! That was sneaky. Oh! No. No! Fuck! Yeah! They teach you that in the seminary?
Forgive me, Lord, for what I do. Left arm
Enough.
lower.
That will do. My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
And no luck again, eh? When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days. He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
I've got to get him on our side and to cooperate with us.
Aren't we all on the same side?
Maybe everyone's saying that. But it's time to put it into action.
After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
Do I have any choice?
If it's really that important, you don't.
All right, then. It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
Look out!
Godwin, we didn't have much time for conversation on the way here.
With pleasure, sir. As it happens, what are you expecting from today's...
Well, but as long as we...
I couldn't help but notice your son has...
To put it mildly, but not to do him an injustice, knowing young Lord Capon, he undoubtedly contributed to that more than a little. Although, if they didn't pull each other out of trouble...
Wise words. Still, Henry's come a long way on a thorny path. I trust you're rightfully proud of him.
You know, I am. And Martin would also be glad, even though Henry chose a different path than he.
May God grant... Where did you leave Sir Divish?
Haven't you heard? No one even imagined... Godwin.
Well, it could... May I have a word with you, sir?
You? Anytime. With you, at least, unlike this pack of
Have you got something against...
They're forth, and they... Hello.
Young...
He got a harsh lesson. But at least he might remember to lay off that tomfoolery. But if not, war.
Do you think...
I sincerely...
What do you think about...
Are you testing...
Some are up to their elbows in silver and blood. So others...
Better make sure you...
That's exactly why we mustn't push too
Taking
hard.
their time again. Burgers, patricians, and you. Yeah, we're...
Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Yobst comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
Christ be praised.
What's the hold up? Am I supposed to open my mouth and wait for it to rain?
How can I persuade you?
I need guarantees of security. I don't want to end up like Rutard.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, Ideals go out the window.
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think differently. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund?
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
I believe Liechtenstein is single.
And an uncertain party. Besides, he's inconvenient for Sigismund. Yitka could end up being a pawn to blackmail both of us.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
He may be young, but he's got something between his ears. He's got battle experience. And when he gets the estate that's his by right, he'll be well secured for life.
If he gets it. Right now, Hanush lords over Rattay and seems quite happy with that state of affairs. On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on, despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
To your health, my friends.
So, will you support our plan?
You're selling the skin of a boar that's still grunting. First, I want a confirmation that the wedding will take place, as soon as possible.
And what if Lord Capon refuses?
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
You said the same thing last time.
I'm telling you, you haven't heard this one. Listen up.
I ain't listening to this, not again.
So, you know about it.
Aye.
And about those three?
Those three water sprites at the weir, aye. You
A jug of wine, thanks.
And about how you were so scared you couldn't get it up.
And that's
Christ be praised.
Take a look at that.
And Sir Hanush,
You do?
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the Elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? By Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up. How the hell did you do it?
Well, there's one little catch. I had to promise him... I don't even know how to begin.
Out with it.
Lord Kunstadt has a niece, so... I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstadt. Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
Cheers!
Cheers to you, and to your parleying skills.
So, Bocek, your niece Yivka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed, without reservations.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kunstad.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yivka and the unhappy Lord Capon.
Here's to a good bargain.
Again? It's supposed to be a bloody
Good day. And with you.
My balls all bloody.
And what can I get for you?
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
How do you know Liechtenstein is behind it?
I know most of the people here very well. Many of them certainly have doubts about the Margrave's plans. But they wouldn't dream of stating them aloud. While it seems that Lord Liechtenstein, on the contrary, sees his opportunity.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on two fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Haman Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
And these papers I'm supposed to switch, what do they concern?
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain undesirable parties.
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear, but I'll rest easier when those papers are in my hands.
I'm supposed to rob an ally.
Haman Alder was given the documents to deliver to the council. He hasn't yet had a chance to look at them, so he won't even notice the difference.
And the papers I'm supposed to plant on Alder?
Just insignificant documents. If the incriminating ones disappeared without a trace, it would arouse suspicion.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorin's groom has eyes everywhere.
Take a look at that. A knight in there.
What brings you here?
Big enough for that bastard Istvan to raise a small army. He calls that
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
My lady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words and money.
Thank you, noble lady. God will...
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain, Godwin.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
I'm still hoping it works
Innkeeper,
out.
a beer!
But maybe you were right. It was probably not the best idea to gather all the lords under one roof.
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bojek of Kunstad will support our cause.
Both of them. Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord, but we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes! And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the Balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitzka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas!
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rabble get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylanders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits! Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore placed the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly. We have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh. Rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he is not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the King's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very... They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities, and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good to you. To your health, Margaret. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, Your Majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the Council was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Rabosch. Alderin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Oderlin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosch will be yours. After all, Otto has already got knowledge of.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows that.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No. We shall have white. We have had enough of it.
White it is. Quickly! If your Bosch falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
We could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
To bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to a victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
Surely you heard that Lord Kronstadt is marrying the young Lord of Perkstein.
To be eaten. I couldn't resist either.
Stultoren. Are you in need of something, my wild friend?
I'd like to drink a toast with you to...
So touching.
Come now.
I never had one.
Truly.
Well, maybe once. The older I get, the worse it is.
See now. Only... Fuck. Well...
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs.
To hell! I had my eye on him all evening. He had pictures brought from somewhere for himself and his closest, and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find...
You can bet on it. I've got a nose for booze.
I don't doubt it.
I remember someone saying something right about Sigismund. The sooner he's gone, the sooner life returns to this country. Let's drink to that. We'll be fine, Wenceslas. About the girls or the piglet? Fuckings for beggars.
Oh putain!
How'd you like her wine, Chevalier?
The art of recipes are I might even the king.
So you're not too keen on her?
Comment dire? Let us, if you try hard. Give me 100 knives in full.
No use at all for that. Greetings to you too.
Having a good time?
It's a fucking bore. He's all...
Well, what are you missing? There's wine, food, even a few females worth the same.
I'd rather...
Well, let's have a game then. But for what?
For coin. What else?
Let's make...
Nice. If I'd known you had that...
God be with you, my friend. G'day, g'day.
Want to roll some dice?
Sure.
Playing for coin's a bore.
I might have something. But you'll have to bet at least 20 groschen against it.
And what might that be?
Let's keep it a surprise. You won't be sorry, though.
What the hell? It'll be fun at least.
You bet it will.
Want to roll some dice?
Sure.
I don't play...
Oh, you can stuff yourself enough here to last.
I am far too old for some sentiment.
How come you're still here, sir? Weren't you supposed to travel with Sir Hanush? Raise an army, prepare a wedding feast and all that?
All hail Jobst! He sorted out things here nicely. He got my money for a start, and that's more than I wanted to give him. But you know how it goes. Give them a finger. I explained to the Margrave that I'm not going anywhere, and I sent my captain with him. He's still young and full of piss and vinegar. I'm too old and fond of my comfort.
Did you at least discuss with Hanush where the wedding will take place?
Nothing to discuss. It'll be at our castle Potstein, of course. It's the pride of our family. We can fit in 3 times more people than here, and that still wouldn't be much.
Ah, but there are 2 castles in Rattay. I'd bet my right arm old Hanush will want to have the wedding there.
What? In Rattay? Well, I ought to look into that then.
But deal with him yourself, though. I won't be your gent's messenger anymore. Good evening, my esteemed lady. I haven't yet had the opportunity to make your acquaintance.
No matter. I know who you are. Although Martin hardly spoke of you, from what I heard, I could conjure up a pretty good picture.
Would you kindly introduce your 2 companions?
This is Lady Christina, second wife of Lord Binic of Norsteds. She's standing in for him here today.
Nice to meet you, sir.
How come your husband didn't come?
Because he's been rotting for nearly a year in the king's captivity.
I'm sorry to hear that, Mom. I pray that God shall return...
I've been praying for it since the day I got... Perhaps worldly powers will come to our aid once the promised army time.
What's your...
That it's about time. But in the end...
It's rather noisy here, Mom. Don't you think?
It is, a bit. But that's all...
Wouldn't you prefer a little privacy? I'll gladly escort you.
Restrain your order. If you want to amuse yourself with them, I insist on being present.
But I had no wish to.
And while you're on your way, we're quite...
Do I look like a servant?
No. Be so kind and...
Cephalus is kind.
Now, just mispronounce the name, and we're not talking about a horse, but a cock.
Oh, stand straight, Martin. In a battle, your life depends on this thing.
God be with you. Good day.
I'm telling you, give it a year, things don't lose on. And I was telling you.
Do you get it, Father? Please, call me Rabbi. Lord Capon.
Oh, whatever. Fuck it.
And you should not curse either.
See? You talk exactly the same as I... As drunk as a fiddler.
This rich bride with a fat dowry.
Right. I don't know about you, but I can barely stand. And to stand over that...
I still can't wait for that ginger cunt to finally fuck off.
Otherin may be an old pinch purse, but when it comes to affairs of state, he splashes out like there's no tomorrow.
He's a bitter contrary, old goat. Half of us only came here for the feast, anyway.
Don't complain. I haven't eaten.
Drinking stuff like even at home.
Hey, Mick! Where are we supposed to keep watch outside the gate today?
Ah, so what? They left a long time ago.
I swear to God, I saw there.
The French court knows me by that name.
Well, you're not in France now. Here, nobody knows you. Quite a farcical beginning.
That floor.
The rat'll be good, I hope.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Rootheart. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you beat it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir,
Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of the fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. Wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to the celebration, you old fox.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty. Hey! Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
Seize the nobles! Kill the rest!
Jesus! The surrounding Christopher! He can't make it on his own!
Nice strike!
Take that! What's it to be? Are you gonna fight?
Stand your ground! Christ! Right on the noggin!
Send my greetings to the devil. You won't be able to take another one like that.
Me? Not a chance.
Scrubbing that floor.
The rat'll be good, I hope.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh.
Pray for a quick death. Jesus! The surrounding Christopher! He can't make it on his own!
Take these, done for! Get him! Come on then!
You won't be able to take another one like that!
Come and help me! Oh, take that!
You're off!
Slash him on the head!
You don't know.
When he started fretching,
The rat'll be good, I hope.
Now there's a piece of...
Jesus! The surrounding Christopher! He can't make it on his own!
No, you don't. Come on!
Get him!
Slice him up!
Not one step back! Stand your ground! Consider!
Slice him
Drive those horses out!
Show your stuff! I'll be done with you in a flash.
True blood! Bashing on the head!
Nice more coming! Brace yourself!
Bloody...
Quick!
To me!
Oh, we in a flash. What are those fancy moves, for fuck's sake?
Hey! Get him!
You'll pay for that, Howard.
Hey! Get him!
I'll have your ass! Oh, you got him! Poor son. No wonder you're so defending. Bash him on the head!
He's had it! You think you can scare me? To make him a chance!
Done here, horses!
That was a close shave.
A little too close. Fuck me. Did my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin!
How did you get...
Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone alright?
Well, some are, some aren't.
They captured Odorin, Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Conrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hanush?
They left with Yobs long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but... not everyone was so lucky.
What happened, Godwin? Who died?
Anna of Waldstein. She didn't stand a chance against those butchers. May she rest in peace.
She was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And they almost killed my brother. But only almost. Good work.
What do you mean, almost? What happened?
I got there in time to help him, fortunately. Christopher tried to defend our father, but nearly lost his life doing it. Nothing.
Old grievances aside, Odorin is an ally. The same as Rutard and Botchek.
Oh, they all have their quirks. Cousin Botchek's a money-grabbing magpie. But I wouldn't give up on the fucker either. We'll have to wait for the other side's move anyway. We don't even know where von Berghout took them.
Where did they go? Back to Rattay?
They've got to raise an army for us. And I hope they fucking hurry.
So we have a plan to counter Sigismund?
More of a promise than a plan.
But, as you can see, our allies are getting scarce. We should lay low until Jobst gets back.
I'll gladly play dead for a while.
Be so kind. And don't speak of the dead.
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you, but von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming.
Markvar bragged about it to Sigismund, and Sigismund promised to make him Lord of Raborch in return.
When he sees what von Bergau did with it, he'll shit himself.
You find that funny? Do you like watching those foreigner dogs rampaging around and slaughtering innocents? Who else has to die before we do something about it?
Tell us about it. We were neck deep in corpses before you bothered to turn up.
Well, not you.
Fuck you, Jan. I'd trade places with you in a heartbeat, trust me.
We've lost a lot of allies. We'll have trouble finding new ones. They'll be afraid to even peep against Sigismund.
What? Are you surprised? Look around. Sigismund showed everyone what's coming for all who resist him.
You want to give up now?
Nobody said anything about giving up. We'll treat the wounded, bury the dead, get the hell out of here. Then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait for Jobst and his army.
If I survive the journey. Oh, God's teeth. That stupid nag nearly broke me in half.
And what am I supposed to do? Can I help somehow?
You've done enough, don't you think?
And I'm sure Liechtenstein can't wait to find out what was discussed at the city council.
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to ransack the Jewish quarter. That is, he ordered it, more like.
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there. They could reveal a lot.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall. At least he's safe here.
They're our allies. We have to help them.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing. I can just see them all jumping to their feet and rush to save their poor Jews.
Maybe Samuel will figure something out. He wanted to talk to you anyway.
He's here too?
Aye, escorting the rabbi. You should go and see them as soon as possible. And tell Liechtenstein too.
Anyway, we've got work to do. Godwin?
Give me a moment. I'll go and see Christopher first. Guard the...